the gravity that is bringing everybody towards this towards this side of the room. But that's fine. That works. You can stay if you are comfortable there. You can stay, but let's just make sure that we have one person on our side. That you're single does not mean you have to sit singly. You can sit down with other people, okay? Sit down with other people. Online, hi. Hope you are watching this comfortably wherever you are joining in from, okay? Good to see everybody. So do you have, just quick check, do you have one person, at least one person close to you, beside you that you can interact with? That's quite far, but okay. So everybody has somebody close to them that you can interact with. That is fine, perfect. So we're good to go. We are good to go. How many people saw the bucket list that was going around on social media during the week? The singles bucket list that was going around. Even if you're not seen, never mind. We're going to go through it again together. But now, there's a twist to it. You're going to have to pick. Because I saw some people's list. Some people tick everything on the list. Like, I want to do everything before you get married or before you do God knows what. That's harsh. But yes, now you're going to have to pick. You can't have everything. So we're going to be making tough decisions here. You know, life is all about making tough decisions. And you have to prepare yourself from now. You're going to be making tough decisions about which one you would pick if you had to choose one, okay? And why I need you to talk to somebody beside you is you want to know if both of you have the same thing in common. So if you would pick this, you want to know if the other person picks that too, or the person picks the other alternative, okay? So are you comfortable with the person you're sitting next to? I hope you are. I really hope you are. Okay, so the first one is, would you rather have money or would you be famous? If you had to pick one. Money. If you're for money, let me see, wave of hands. Money, wow. Who is picking fame over money? Nobody's picking. Who fame up? Okay, so money over fame. Okay, so would you rather have a VIP seat at a concert or a dinner with your favorite artist? That's very interesting. Nobody wants VIP corner for a nice. So who VIP people? Any? Nobody. Oh, they're there. Now you want to be taken care of. You want to be treated like royalty. Yes, listen to your best person. That's good. That's good. But I think some of you don't have the same thing in common. Sorry. So would you rather go for a solo vacation or would you rather go with your bae? Solo vacation, let me see. Solo, okay. Vacation with bae. Bae, amen. Okay. For the adventurous people in the room, would you rather go skydiving or be taken up to the sky in a hot air balloon? Skydiving. You people have chests. Please, I would like to be lifted up into the sky and be dropped. And be dropped as carefully as it was. I'm not doing that. The balloon can burst. Okay, the parachute can also burst. Either way. Okay, would you rather have your dream job or a dream car? Dream job, okay. Who says dream car? Dream car. Interesting. So we know that there's something called jackpot season around. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but you must have heard it, jackpot season. So would you rather relocate or would you rather go on a world tour? World tour. Really? With all these jackpot noise going, you would rather world tour. Okay. But after the world tour, you're coming back home, like you know. The world has not finished. Okay, that's interesting. Now let's go to like everyday stuff. everyday stuff. You know, you want to find common ground with people around you, make friends and things like that. So would you rather watch a book or watch a movie or read the book? Like if there is a, you watch the movie, you read the book. Yeah, voracious reader, okay, whatever works for you. I'm sure you find somebody else that likes that too. So are you a WhatsApp voice call or WhatsApp video call person? Voice note is not part of the option. It's voice call or video call. Voice call, let me see, show of hands. Okay, video call. I think we're like half and half. No, voice notes are not part of the option. Okay, yeah, would you rather have a text sent to you, or would you like to have a conversation over the phone? Call or text? Call. No, it's this or that. You have to pick one. Okay, so it's very varied here. Okay, this one is very interesting. Okay, thank you. Okay, so to the very interesting one. As you are now, look at yourself. As you are now. Yes. Would you rather have a new friend or a romantic relationship or a significant other? Like, as I am now, I want a new friend. Or as I am, I want a significant other. Let me see. Money is not, we're done with money. Okay, so new friend, let's see. New friends, that's very beautiful. Significant other, let's see. Interesting, thank you. But you know that even your romantic relationship, it will start from friendship. So everything works for us. Maybe your friend before. Okay, so I don't want to join this. I don't want to start the war, but just very quiet about this one. Android or iPhone? Okay, that's it. We're not having that conversation. No. Okay, audio book or podcast? Really, no audio book fans here? Oh, just a few. I think you should note yourselves because you're so few and far apart. Instagram or Twitter? Really? I'm quite surprised. I thought we liked looking at pictures and saying God when, hashtag goals. No? Twitter is for dragging now. You people like dragging others. Okay. Finally, if you had to pick a vacation location, if you had to pick somewhere to go, whether it's your solo vacation or it's your vacation with Bae, would you rather go to a country in Europe or in Asia? Okay. That's very... Europe, let's see. Europe. Asia. Yeah, like a little half and half there. Okay. So I hope you maybe just spotted somebody else in the crowd that has something in common with you. You know, you can like to start up a conversation with the person after the event and say, oh, hey, I noticed that we both like video calls. Would you like to have my numbers? Maybe we can video call, you know? That would be smooth. That would be so smooth. I'm so proud of myself. That was good. Okay, so we have another quick game to play now. And this one, we have teams. We're going to have, it's perfect the way we are seated. We're going to be split into 2 teams. And we just need one person from each team, a lady from one team and a gentleman from the other. So a lady and a gentleman from each team. Anybody can volunteer, or you can encourage somebody beside you. I think you will do well. I think you will answer the questions nicely. You don't know. Just a lady and a guy. Okay. I'm not going to say the rules of the game or what the game is about. Representatives from each team. So it will help if your team sends a person first, because the other team now has to find the other gender, you get. So just quickly stand up or send somebody forward. Okay. Okay, thank you. So the first team has already sent forward a female. Oh, okay, she volunteered. And we're waiting for a gentleman from the other team. A gentleman. A man. A guy. Identifies as a male. Somebody's son. Okay. Wow. So how do you guys even collect people's numbers if you cannot? How do you do this? Okay, does a lady want to bail out this? Okay, oh great. Thank you. Thank you very much. So the game is it's quite simple. It's not it's not too complicated. So the name of the game is no, no, yes or no. No, no, you're not allowed to say no, you're not allowed to say yes. And we'll be asking some questions, okay? Yes. Nobody is allowed to say no or yes, but you must answer the question that you are asked. I would have equal number of questions for both sides. And the person or maybe the person that says yes or no first would be the one to go back to their seats very humbly, okay? Okay, so are you a Nigerian? Of course. Okay, that's cool. Are you a single Suya night? You think so? Okay. Okay. Do you talk in your sleep?
Not exactly.
Do you snore? Do you ever talk to yourself? What do you say to yourself? Many things, okay. Do you own Bitcoin? Would you like a person that owns Bitcoin? Interesting, okay. Have you ever given relationship advice to somebody in a relationship while you were single?
Very well.
Okay. Would you say you are a tall person?
In comparison to
Okay, that's smooth. Do you like yourself?
Why not? Thank you.
Are you single?
I'm not.
Okay. Do you have weird habits?
some.
Are your friends upset by your weird habits?
They don't have a choice.
Okay, it's like nobody wants to break. Nobody wants to break.
She just said no.
No, I didn't say no.
Okay, that counts.
Interesting. Okay. Are you female?
I am.
Are you a lady?
Of course.
Are you a guy?
Yes.
Okay, yes. So we have, he He has to go. Okay, so please give them a round of applause. Thank you to both teams. So I guess we're all having fun already, and we're going to continue this evening in a very nice and interesting atmosphere. So now I'd like to welcome Miss Olamide Aguloye to give us a beautiful song this evening. So let's welcome her together.
Just a sum of every I and every love. Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Ooh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I am falling short, when I don't belong. Oh, you say I am yours, and I believe what you say of me. The only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. With you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. Oh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I am falling short, when I don't belong. Oh, you say I am yours, and I believe what you say of me. I believe, taking all I have and now I'm laying it at your feet. You are every failure, God. You are every victory. Oh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I I think I am weak, you say I am held. When I am falling short, or when I don't belong, you say I am yours. I believe.
That was very, very beautiful. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Okay, so now we are going to have a panel session. We're going to be hearing from different people across different phases of life, different questions that we got. You know, we asked people to send in questions. There are other questions that we have to address. So we have it, our panelists come up now. We have
Daniels.
No. No.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right. So I've been married for, I think.
Okay, you are married, Sha. You are married, Sha.
I'm married.
Okay.
8 months ish.
Okay. Yeah. So we wanted him here because he has a lot of hair, and he can basically help us one or two things. Okay. Next up.
Hello, Titi Lopelanyo. I've been married for a little over a year. Yeah.
Okay. Welcome. Okay.
my name is Dotu.
That's like the married section. We are the single section.
Yes, I am unmarried.
Okay. Tell us about your singleness.
Okay.
Are you like single like imported rice like a loan, or single like
Okay.
what's the state of singleness for you?
Single in a relationship.
Okay. Okay. All right, next up. Is this time is not correct? It cannot be correct. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'm Jide Shoke and I'm single and in a relationship.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Jide is single and also in a relationship. Okay. I'm supposed to be like the single not in a relationship person, but obviously I'm not. Okay, my name is Tolu anyway. All right, guys, where do we start from? Does everybody have to get married? Fastest fingers, quick up.
Well, that's an interesting question.
I know it is. Answer it. Don't tell me it's an interesting question. Answer the question.
So I remember when I was maybe in secondary school or something. So at some point, I think I actually wanted to become a father, right? Yeah, I was planning
Father
not to
as
get
in
married.
Reverend Father.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
exactly. But I don't know, somewhere along the line, I think my body just told me that no.
Good. I want to take you on from there. So from when your body told you no, obviously you didn't get married immediately, your body told you no. So what do you do from that period when your body is saying no till when, or you just gave it expression?
No.
Oh, okay. So what do you do? How did you start to handle all of that?
Okay, I think one of the first things that actually helped was actually, so I had a couple of guys in school that were, close
No, you didn't
friends.
express your body with your guys.
No.
Okay.
No, I did not.
No,
They were
just
close
somebody
friends.
might
I'm
be
going
thinking-
somewhere with that.
Okay.
I'm going somewhere with that. So they were close friends, and so we had this thing where we just kind of decided like we're not going to enter into any relationship until maybe we were out of school or something. So I mean, I think I broke it 400 level. I got into a relationship, then got out. But I think that was pretty much it.
No, but you're not kind of. My question is like the bodily
How did I-
feelings,
Oh.
right? You realize like I'm saying I want to be a father, my body is saying no, right? That's what you said.
Yes.
So from when my body is saying no and my body is doing one kind, what did you now? How did you handle that space? So you said you had some guys. That's what, it's like you are your guys. I really didn't get that. Okay, so that's what I was waiting for you to.
Okay. Well, I think all of that was actually a thing of understanding the whole thing on a daily basis, actually, right? So, like I said, there was a point in time where, I just started getting certain expressions or feelings, let me say, that were not there before, so to speak, were not as amplified. Yeah, that was the thing. So I think it was just the thing of, I had, of course, I was a believer at the time, right? So being in church, not in church, in fellowship, right? Yeah. So being in a fellowship.
Hormones kind of came with a lot of, I call it in a bad secular environment or a bad environment. So I think I mishandled it. And information that I feel like I could have gotten from people that had the right mindset, I didn't get that. So I got what I'll call misinformation. People, like the circle of, or the environment I had back then used to think masturbation was a normal thing. Used to think sex was a normal thing. So this was not even like, sexual purity was you not sleeping with a girl, not necessarily you masturbating. So if you masturbate, you're like sexually pure, purer than the people that sleep around. So there was that hype. Like,
quick one. Can I say something on that? I don't know if you ever heard this, but there was this thing I heard. Yeah, I think it's all right. There was this thing I heard.
It was a lot of pressure. You had to, and the worst part was after it started, coming out of it was even a bigger struggle, because by the time you actually become aware, you actually discover that they are addicted. And what do you want to do? Is it prayer? Is it fasting? Is it swearing by the Bible? What got me out of that circle was vision. And it's that scripture, I think it's Proverbs 29, that says that when people don't have vision, they cast off restraint. Like, if you want to actually stay single and pure, you just have to have a vision of purity. You can't afford to be on the middle ground. You either want to be pure, and purity is not having sex. Purity is actually pursuing God's definition of holiness. And there are a lot of scriptures that support that. 1 Thessalonians 4, 2 Timothy 2:2. That we used to crack that among my circle of friends. It became a common thing. Then we had covenant eyes to help us when technology became more profound. You just had to always report yourself, like, I'm going through this. There are people you call, like, emotions are not balancing. And all those ones of taking a shower did not really work, because after the shower, you're still coming back to your bed to continue dealing with your mind. So I think, for me, friends helped a lot, and actually on hearing the truth at a later point got me out.
Okay, thank you. One thing that I particularly noticed, that you guys, your mics are all working, by the way. One thing I particularly, I think that you said that I think is really strong for me is vision, but kind of feels ambiguous. I don't know. Like, I'm thinking of myself as a how old was I? Say like a 14, 15-year-old. I'm thinking of myself in the peak of some of these struggles and walking away from this meeting today and hearing vision. And I'm like, yeah. So I go home and I'm like, vision. So I'm like, yeah, where do they get vision? How does that work?
Someone asked that in the next 30, 40 years, what will be your top regrets that you feel you won't have dealt with in your teenage years? And I think those questions kind of changed my life. Like, when I'm 40, I don't want to still be battling issues that I could have dealt with when I was a lot younger. And I actually discovered that most married people don't stop masturbating. Most married people don't stop porn addiction. Most married people don't get off this. So it's not something that getting married will cure. So you have to actually discover that you have to deal with it way ahead.
Big idea there is that marriage is not a cure for sexual immorality. You're right. Big idea. You can write that down if you're writing.
Okay.
Okay, just cram it. Where you want to write it, but you don't want to look like I'm the one writing it. Where you guys who cram it, and write it down. Marriage is not a cure for sexual immorality. Really true. Somebody who is sexually immoral before marriage. The big idea is that the person doesn't honor the concept of sex belonging between a man and his wife. He doesn't honor that as a concept. So he feels like, even if this person is not my wife or my husband, we can just cut trips. So the big principle is not honoring the fact that a sexual relationship is between a man and a woman, and that's husband and wife. So that means that today it might be in the space of not being married, but one day it might be in the space of being married, but just being with somebody else other than your spouse, or just some other expression other than within marriage. You wanted to say something?
Yes, thank you. So about the vision, for me, it wasn't a 30-year or what would I want not to regret later on. But there were times when being exposed to immoral content, like it's all over the internet, and there were books. I mean, I think for girls, it's more romance novels that we do a lot of. So at some point, I had to ask myself that, is this, so hearing from other people, I think I'd been in church spaces enough to hear people talk about their struggle with masturbation and sexual immorality. And I just thought to myself, I don't want to be that person. So that was what vision was for me. Like, I am not that person now, and I don't want to do anything that would make me, in a couple of years, start saying I was that person that was fighting sexual temptation. So I just said, okay, I know what my life is going to look like. I know I'm going to serve God publicly. I don't want that to be a dent in my reputation or anything like that. So it was a stop before I start for me. Like, it was, yeah.
Okay, let me just tie the two. I think you kind of
Not
touched
tie
on
them,
it.
oh.
No, not so.
Because you picked a single guy and a single lady and said you want to tie.
No.
Okay.
Like
what they said, okay.
And I think you landed on something very important. It talked about truth. And I think that's where it starts from, understanding the truth, because that's where you can even start birthing vision. If you don't get the truth, then there's nothing to even start coming to understand. Because when I started having feelings, I didn't even understand what they were at first, because maybe I was like a little close to teenage years and all. So I didn't really understand what they were. But then having conversations with people that you're not supposed to have conversations with, they tell you their own truth, and then you take it as the truth. So you hold on to it, like, okay, maybe this is how it's supposed to be, until you now find out that that's actually not how it's supposed to be. So I think it starts from truth. Understanding the truth is very important.
Yeah, so good, thanks. Dan, I want to ask you a question. What's your biggest regret about when you were single? Your biggest regret from your single years?
Okay, I think my biggest regret actually is giving in to pleasures of just like what Judy was saying, right? I think it was actually that, giving into that for a period of time. And I think I've actually even shared this before at some point. And being a Christian, but trying to reconcile, being a Christian with being in that. And really, at some point, I think I started to actually ask the question, like, is it even really possible to actually be out of this? I actually asked myself to the point of actually asking, like, is everybody, like, as we all are, gathered, worshiping or serving God and all of that, is it really true that everybody here, that we are, like, very, very spiritual without any, like, are we all pure?
Yeah.
Because it really became like a very big struggle, right? And I was wondering if it was really ever possible to, be out of it. So that was a
Legit, has it happened to you before that? Maybe like...
Well,
Okay, but there are some that already have like that red flag. You know what you are looking for. Okay.
Then for me, people I follow on social media, I'm very particular about the people I follow. So
how do you boost your followers? Like you're trying to follow more people to have more followers. How do you?
I don't actually think of boosting followers. I think more of following people that would help me than boosting followers.
Somebody just needed to hear that. Thank you.
Okay, for me, it's having like an alternative or if I see this, then I'm going to do this. Preparing myself ahead. If I see something that triggers me funny, okay, maybe I would go and read my Bible or watch a sermon. Instantly, I know that I'll do that. And if it's a thought, or because recently there's this WhatsApp group I'm on, and somebody sent a very, very nasty sticker. And it kept on coming to my mind, and I had to say, okay, so next time I think about this, I'm going to think about this instead.
Okay.
So it's just like having replacement in place. Like,
Okay.
okay, instead of this, do that. That's what helps.
Okay, thank you. That's sorry. Just before that, I think that's really good because thoughts by nature are not actually pushed away; they are replaced.
Yeah.
Right. So, if I tell everybody now, everybody listen. Don't think about ASU. Don't think about ASU. You know, the more you're trying not to, the more you are, and you are swearing at the president and stuff like that. So. The only way you will not think about ASU is if you are saying, think about federal, no, that would make you think. Think about church, right? So pushing your mind to one thing pushes it away from the other thing. So I think that's a very strong principle that has helped me also a lot. Just having that. I don't know, I like that you mentioned, like, instead of this, I'll go and read my Bible, but sometimes the truth is, that Bible is far. Like, like quite honestly, before you open, the thought has dealt with you. So sometimes just having that thought helped me. But some of you that are able to just start reading the Bible, that also works. Okay, thanks.
Well, for me, I think friends play a major role. So I don't watch a movie that I've not read the review, or I've not heard review from friends. So my friends kind of know the kind of things I don't want to see.
So your friends take the bullets for you.
Exactly. So there are some things that I will see and I will. So the advantage of having friendship circles is they know what triggers you, and you know what triggers them. So when you see something that triggers them, you can give them a heads up. You know the people that if they come into contact with, they are most likely to fall. So there's that guard tip like, oh, this person is going to be around. You have two options. Either you are not around or you are around for a shorter time. So it's just that protective layer of using other people, like you said, to take the bullet for you.
You talk a lot about friends. How have you been able to? Because sometimes friends are actually the problem. Sometimes for some people, I don't know. I know you don't say yes because the person next to you. But some of you, as you heard all of this thing, you're like, the problem go. It's different. Like, I was generally having the same day until this person, like, that kind of. Sometimes some people are in our space. So maybe anybody a thought on, and then also how you get the wrong ones out.
Okay, let me go first on this. And the point is, God brings them your way, honestly. Like, there's no fun.
But that's good to know.
So she influenced me, and I influenced my roommates. So I influenced my roommates. So I discovered that because of the circle I had as roommates, then my roommates were not necessarily my friends, but they were always in my space, and it was common in my room. So she influenced me to the point of I said, I don't want to hear that in my space. And so the level of conversation changed. So people that I wanted to say, they'll be like, oh, Jide is around. But they didn't know that it was because of another person that adjusted me. I was able to adjust other people. So that influence kind of trended. Also, there are just counted experiences of people just being there when you just needed a little bit of adjustment. I don't think God corrected my whole life in like one traumatic change. Just a little bit of course correction. And now I'm where I am. Because where I started from to where I am is that I stay money.
Nice. Any other thoughts on friends?
I just wanted to add, I think also people you work with, because for me now, I work with people from I spend 10 hours with them, or maybe 11 to 12 hours. So I end up being close to some of them. So I'm very particular about people I'm close to at work to, apart from just friends, because sometimes they influence you, what you say, how you say it. You find out that even you are also influencing them. They begin to do what you do or how you act. So I'm also particular about that space too, not just friends generally. Even at work, who am I close to? And you have to also let them know the kind of person that you are, because that's when the right people will now want to be closer. Because if they want to do like a gathering, they know who to call. If they want to go to this place, they know who to call. If they want to go here, they know who to call. So when they know that, the right people will be like, oh, this person I want to work with, and this person I want to work to.
Nice. I want to come back to you. But your wife is here, but don't worry. Just imagine she's not. If you have a crush today, what will you do?
If I have a crush today, what will I do? Okay. Well, actually, if I have a crush today, the truth is,
you are on the altar.
So let me even say.
We know the truth. We just answer it. It's the truth.
Let me put it this way. I've had I've had people that I saw while we were dating, right? I've had people that I saw that looked attractive, right? But it didn't change anything. The thing is this, yes, in the moment there was this person. But I think for me, I'm the kind of person where once I've made a decision on, okay, this is it, and I know, okay, this is what God is leading me in. The truth is, I stay on that lane. That's the truth. I don't know, maybe it's a being defined. I'm serious.
Wait, I want to know, is it that because sometimes now you're seeing them every day and you're working with them?
Maybe that's a different case.
So,
okay, I think that's a
He works
different
remotely.
case.
Is that why you work remotely? Is that why you work remotely? Yeah.
Okay, well, before I started working remotely, well, I did work with people, right? So let's say in that kind of situation, right, where I'm seeing somebody on a daily basis and maybe some feelings or something was coming up. I think one of the first things I'll probably do is to maybe kind of limit my interaction with the person.
Okay.
I feel like the more I interact with the person, the more the feelings, blow up and all of that. And in all honesty, I think that's actually one of the things I do the most personally. That once I see that this person is, even if it wasn't a thing of, we are already talking much. Once I see that this person, there was an initial or you are attractive somehow, something, was tickling my fancy or maybe your personality or whatever it was, I'll just distance myself from you. You wouldn't know anything about it. I wouldn't, tell you anything about it. But personally, I would just distance myself from you. I'll stop talking with you. I won't do anything with you. I'll just zero that whole thing so that I can actually focus and face my
Good
direction.
stuff. Good stuff. So everybody, please note. Make sure you only talk to people that irritate you, and if you don't like something about somebody, just don't talk to the person. Maybe not that extreme, but you get the drift. You get the point. Okay. Crushes. What do you do? All of you are in relationship or married. So if you have another crush, what you do about it?
First thing, report myself.
Report yourself. Report sounds like you've done something wrong, and yes. I don't agree.
Well, so for
you
me, you are
in adoration of certain qualities that God has endowed on somebody, right? I don't think when you say report yourself, it just sounds like you've already done something wrong.
Well, in my head, I think sometimes I feel that way. Like, why am I still attracted to a person when I'm in pursuit of a goal with another? So I talk to my friends about it first, and the reason I talk to my friends about it is because I'm putting myself accountable to ensure that I'm within the framework of not misbehaving. So the next time the question can just pop up, how is this person? I should not hesitate to talk, and that's where transparency comes in. Sometimes I don't wait for them to ask me the questions. I talk to them before the questions come, and by that way, I know that you can just receive a random call. Where are you? And because of the kind of structure we have, you have to just say the truth. The worst that will happen is that even if you make a mistake, they are still there for you. But it's worse if you didn't say the truth. They'll feel betrayed because now you have shown that you can't be trusted with whatever you say. Your version of the story will not count if you've never been consistent with the truth. So, as I said, report to myself.
So I honestly agree. I honestly agree in terms of sounding out and all of that. But maybe where I'm still just trying to settle is that word report. I don't know what you guys think, but can I be in a relationship or be married and feel attracted? Whether in a flash moment, I'm not saying I'm pursuing the attraction, but I'm saying that legit I'm driving with my wife and or Daniel is driving his wife and he sees somebody that, some level of attraction. Does it happen? Can it happen? Is there something wrong? Before we even know. So I agree with handling it. I totally agree. But does it happen that I can be attracted, in some way or the other?
I don't think there's something wrong. Like you mentioned, God has endowed us with different nice things, and you can acknowledge that in a person. So I do not think it is wrong. So it's now in the handling that you can go right or wrong. But I think that for things that are out of our control, like this, it just happened. I'm not gonna be looking guilty. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just appreciating somebody. That's
I think.
But then I think that, like what in handling, I think you talk a lot about not trying to fight something, but focus on building something. Like strengthen your attraction with the person you are with. Remind yourself of why you have chosen, because it's a choice that you have made. So remind yourself of why you have chosen the person that you have chosen to be with. Find things that you like about the person, and I guess just remind yourself. It's a lot of self-talk, I guess. More than just
I think
Sorry, I want to
to
trap
add to
at
that,
it. So let's assume you are still in the pursuit and you've never even strengthened the attraction and the baby is forming shakara. And you now see another thing in your front. So how do you strengthen your attraction with
What I
the
think is
attraction?
that maybe you didn't originally have attraction. That's what I think. Because if you are still even in pursuit and you're already seeing, maybe you're not even sure.
maybe you're not yet sure of
You're
what
not-
is
you're not
actually
sure
the
what
right
to-
one.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think I was going to add to that I think one of the things you were trying to maybe clarify is at what point does it maybe become a, is it a sin that, oh, I just saw this, or why am I now reporting myself since I haven't really done anything? And I think it's a very valid thing because, like you said, there are things that happen in a flash moment. Oh, I'm just driving and I see something, or I see somebody or something like that, right? Yes, I look at that and then I look away immediately. I think that's one where I see something in a flash. I don't dwell on it. I just look away immediately and I try to just not look at that direction until I leave that part. But I think we've actually been driving, maybe real life situation. This one is a real life situation of I've been driving one day on the express and so I saw somebody. Calm down, calm down. And I just saw somebody in a flash. And as I saw the person, we just kept driving. And then I just told my wife, I just told my baby, I was like, hey, so, I was even thinking, there's this kind of, dress that I would really like for you to buy. And so the interesting thing was, she also saw the person. She was like, babe, so you saw that? I said, yes. So I like the dress, and I think it will look good on you. So personally, that's one thing where if I see something that looks good, why not get it for my wife? Let her look good in it. I mean, that's the truth, right? So I see it.
Sorry, quick question I want to throw at you. What happens if you are sitting on a board meeting and this thing is not something that happens in a flash moment?
Okay, well,
Yes, in a board meeting.
I'm not sure.
No tables in between. What is actually distracting you is right in front of you for the next 2 hours. What do you do?
You sound like a victim of that.
Yes, I am. I think so, because I'm not sure I've been in that position.
So that's why I came up with like that. Those are long hours. So that's why I'm actually not saying it's like I already have the solution, but like I said, you're just there. There's nothing you can do. It's not like you can walk up and say, "Oh, I'm not going to attend this meeting because of what lies before me."
Okay, let's pull it together. And then I still want to talk about crushes a bit, but let's pull it together. I'm going to ask you guys if you got married to your crushes. Or if you are dating your crushes, be thinking about it. So let's pull this part together. Big idea is that being in a relationship or a marriage and all of that in itself does not mean that I can't, have a thought or like Dotun said, see certain qualities in somebody. It doesn't like, I think my wife is beautiful. Doesn't make every other person ugly. You get what I'm trying to say? Like there are different types of beauty, things like that, right? But maybe what we are saying now, the big word that I seem to be pulling out of a lot of what you guys are saying is really knowing that I am actually committed to somebody. And so how do I now pursue that commitment? Whether it is that I go and buy the dress that person is wearing and put it on my wife, or somebody else was talking about, restating my vision about the person I'm committed to. We might have different expressions, but I hope that whatever response you are taking in that space is a response of rediscovering commitment to the commitment that you hold, and not putting your commitment in this space of, well, this attracted me today, I pursue that, tomorrow that attracted me, I pursue that, but actually holding my commitment and keeping that in a safe space. Okay, so did you marry your first crush?
No.
No.
Did you date your first crush?
No.
No. Okay, so now let's go back. What would you advise a single person who is like really crushing on somebody. Sometimes the person is maybe just not giving the attention, you know, it's not vibing, or maybe I'm not even ready for a relationship, but I'm really crushing, like really, really crushing, like extreme crushing. Right?
Would that be like the first crush or just like any number of crush?
Well, it's a crush. It's a present crush. Okay, or there are different strategies for first and second. That's why.
So the thing is, okay.
You're not getting response from the other person. I didn't know.
Yeah, you're not. So the big idea is that I have a crush that maybe I can't pursue now. Either the person is not vibing with me, or I'm not ready for a relationship, or something. But that I am burning with a crush that is not viable. So you are saying, is it first or second?
So the reason I was actually asking that was because, so usually, right, maybe if I ask everybody here, like, maybe when was the first time you had a crush? It was at some, very early, young age, right? Okay. So, I mean, obviously, at that point, you don't even know.
Okay, sorry. So let me bring it out. I'm talking of somebody sitting here who is burning with a crush that is not viable. What would be your advice?
Well, first thing is, if you're having a crush and the person is not crushing back, well, I think really the truth is.
Daniel, please don't say pray about it.
No.
You look like you're about to say that. Please don't. Okay.
No, definitely not pray about it. Okay. No, I mean definitely not. I think the truth is, if the person is not vibing with you at that point, the truth, I don't think you can really do so much about that situation. You can't force yourself on the person that's out of it. You can't, you can decide to wait for some years and see if anything opens up. But just like they all shouted, I mean, it doesn't really make sense, right? So that's the thing. So I really think that if you're having a crush and the person is not vibing, on that same level with you, I think there's not so much you can do about it other than to actually just let it go and keep living your life. I don't know. Because the truth is, again, if I think the other part of it is, staying in that crush or that old crush thing, like, consistently talking about, I've seen that kind of situation before, consistently talking about it with your friends and all of that, and then your friends are then starting to call you by the name of that person. The person doesn't have any idea, any inclination at all. And then one day, this happened to somebody else, and then one day, the lady, we all hear that the lady is dating somebody, and we turn to the guy like, okay, whoa. So, I mean, it's a situation you don't really want to put yourself in, because it really doesn't, and maybe, I don't know, maybe from my perspective, I feel like it happens mostly to guys, right? Where, a guy is crushing on a girl and the girl is not, So I really feel that.
Does it happen mostly to guys?
I don't know.
I think it happens both ways.
It happens both ways. I think maybe we are just aware of what we know.
Good question that I should actually ask. Okay. As a girl, you have a crush on a guy. Can you initiate a process?
Oh, as a girl.
Okay. Yeah. So this is how I'm going to ask it. You are going to tell me how you feel as a guy if a girl initiates a process towards you. You're also going to tell me that. And you girls are going to tell me if you can initiate a process towards a guy. So let's go. Okay, you've just spoken. Let me allow you to think. Let's start from Titi.
If I can move towards a guy, that's the question.
When you say move towards the guy,
initiate. I think maybe I'll just.
Or explain what you mean by
a conversation.
Okay.
With the person. Let's have communication, talk,
and see what God will do.
See what happens. No. I think talking will help. Talking, where that person's place is, or where their heart is too. And you already know where your own heart is. Maybe you're feeling the person or you're liking the person. But I think conversations will help, like having a communication with the person.
So like you can ask the person for a date. Like let's talk. No. So you know what I'm asking? When you say like initiate conversations, I get, but like, okay, we're in church. Conversation. I want to know where your heart is. It's not turn to your neighbor and say today's your day. That one doesn't tell me where your heart is. So I need something more, right? So how far can you go in looking for that conversation?
I think it should be basic. Hello, hi, how are you doing? What do you do? You can just get to know what are they doing.
What do you look for in a woman?
No.
Okay.
Like, what do you do? From there, you might even see a similarity, and then you can say, "Oh, I also like this kind of thing that you like." And all. But I don't think asking for a date is a good idea.
Okay. So you won't ask for a date,
I wouldn't
and
ask
you
for a
won't,
date.
and you won't ask the person out.
I wouldn't ask the person.
Okay, Doctor. Let's see. How far will you go?
Same. I wouldn't ask for a date. I cannot. I
But
don't
what
have
will you
courage.
do? What will you do?
What would I do?
What can you do?
Okay, so I like somebody, but I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'll focus on other things.
I mean, you don't the kind of like it. I mean, like.
Like really like somebody.
Like really like, and you're ready for a relationship. You know, you're in that space of open for business. So
That's serious. Maybe a wise thing to do would be to get a feeler from the person's friends to even know if the person is
how many of you know when you ask the person's friends, you're asking the person? How many of you know that? Like asking my friends.
The friends are going
is
to tell
asking
you.
me.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah, we get messenger. Nice. Use a messenger. Let me go back to Daniel first.
Okay, so for me, right, so I think I was happy when you said a personal thing. Because personally, if I feel a lady coming on too strong,
You run.
I'm going to back off. Like 100% back off. So
What sounds like too strong? This conversation, does it sound like too
no,
strong?
that doesn't sound like too strong, right? So I've had maybe situations where I really felt and that was even before I met my wife, right? I felt somebody was really coming on too strong and all of that. And maybe the big thing to me was I just got a sense of maybe this person is too loose or something like that. Now that might not be the interpretation or the case, right? But personally, that was the sense or the inclination I got from the way the person approached and all of that. So I think personally, if a lady is having a crush on me, right? If let's say it was my wife that was having a crush on me when we didn't know ourselves, I think the best thing to do would be to actually start a conversation on a basic level first. And this is the thing. I mean, it's just the same way. I know there's a lot of wokeness and all of that out there, but really, it's just the same way as a guy. If I'm approaching a lady, I'm not just going to come and then, 2 or 3 days later, I'm saying like, I really want us to date or so. I mean, I'll sound like I'm saying rubbish, right? But I did not start from there. I started from a plain conversation. In fact, when I started with my wife, it was just a conversation on how she was serving God. Like, I want to know how you are doing it. I mean, like, I legit...
Yeah. This guy met his wife. Tell them where you met your wife.
Okay, so she was serving, that's venue management set up, right? And...
Yeah. And he then, now here's what he did. He then joined the subgroup.
Yeah.
Deny.
So I had joined media team already.
You were in media.
But then as that started to happen...
No, let me break it for you. You were in media, then you now saw someone that is dear to me. So you now left media for venue management. Yeah? You now moved to venue management.
I just kind of added it on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He just liked the way she was serving God. That's how
So,
people meet their wives, yeah.
It just started from, very basic conversation. And from starting to, ask, just basic questions of, what do you do? And all of that. You then start to gradually, progress into asking some deeper questions and all of that. And, over time, you start to see maybe a consistency in your conversations and, this person actually really makes sense. Before a guy would even, in the right way, right? Before he would then think of, even pushing a conversation of, I've been thinking about this, can we, have a relationship or something like that. But I think really where it goes really wrong is most times when I hear a conversation of, can a lady start, maybe ask a guy out or something, it's always so rushed, even if, it always sounds like, you just see a guy and you should just be like, I like you, let's start. I'm like, no, I'm going to run the hell away from you because that's the truth. Because, it really comes on so wrong and so too strong that it doesn't pass across the right message or the right intention, even if you meant it to pass across the right intention.
Okay.
So I think
Thank you. Let me allow Jide to also answer. Then I'm going to not kick back, but ask another follow-up question.
For me, I just see it as cheap. Like, honestly, that's how I see it personally. No, the asking out too. No, not the conversation. Like, so
like a girl asking you
as a
out.
girl, if a girl walks up to me and I just feel like, what that means, you want something I have, typically, and if you are in the mood to take the lead, you're probably going to have to take the lead throughout the relationship, because I'm going to feel like if you walked up to me, that means you're the one that likes me. I don't have to put effort into it. So you just continue putting effort to keep my life.
Okay, so now let me now ask all of you guys this. How much of this do you think is cultural? Is any of you giving me a biblical basis for this, or is this just you, your culture, how you feel as a guy? You feel she's cheap. Is there a culture where, or is there a world cultural context where, right? Yeah, I'm not.
Well, I think that was why I stated initially that I liked when you said, personally.
Okay, so it's personally.
Because it's a personal
Personally?
thing. Yeah.
Anybody giving a biblical basis?
It's not biblical, I don't know.
I don't have a biblical basis.
No biblical basis, okay. So, but personally, so this is what most people around here seem to think, if I go by that. Okay. A biblical idea that you might want to think about. Here's what I want you to think. As much as when I say something is cultural, it doesn't mean it's unimportant, right? If dominantly 95% of people around you think in a particular way, you should at least know why they think that way, and know that that's how you're dealing with people in that space. So don't, clear in his intentions. Jesus goes on the cross and he says, "Look, I've died for you. Do you want?" So Jesus is not a guy that is forever around somebody without being clear. What do you want? Do you want to save me? Do you want to contact? What do you want? He's clear, right? Because the other part of this is that I think many times ladies are placed in positions where a guy he goes in all around, not saying anything, like you said, I mean, you said that, you start a conversation till a point, like you don't just jump at it. I agree, but that conversation, Sha, is not forever. It's not, do you understand? It's not staying in someone's personal space. And so let's make it clear that, one, I think it is unethical, and I also think that it is unfair to, as a guy, to be in a lady's personal space, right? There is church space, or, we are 6 friends that we all like ourselves. Hey. But there is, me and you are, something a little more. I think that if you come that close, you should either be striking or backing off, right? Okay, right. So, and of course, if I am talking to my daughter, and she's telling me that there is a guy that is around there, and is not clear, Paul says, 1 Corinthians 14, if the trumpet makes an uncertain sound, how will we prepare for war? We can't tell the sound. I would strongly encourage my daughter to, try to make things clear.
What are we?
Sorry?
What are we?
What are we? What are we? Yeah. Like to have a what are we conversation. I think that's, so I honestly think that, culture puts ladies in this position of, honestly, many ladies are afraid to have a what are we conversation. And I think honestly it's quite unfair many times when you see what some guys do. So I'm not saying, here again, ladies, before we have our what are we conversation, before, are you investing money? Yes, I'm investing money. What are we? Like, so again, as much as the guy is, let's all just be patient enough with each other, right? From both sides. Like, enough time to even say, I think this guy is processing something, or is he undecided? And then I can really want to have a what are we conversation. I don't know how those conversations goes, but maybe something like, hey, I think we need to talk. Okay. And then you figure that out. Okay, good. So this was about crushes, right? Did you eventually marry a crush?
A crush? No.
Okay, so it wasn't a crush, it was a lead-in. You married a lead-in.
So usually when you say crush, right, it's almost like
Just a.
an uncontrollable urge in the moment. Oh, you like somebody.
Okay. You
so
made up
much,
your mind.
So, yeah. it
Okay.
was
So now
a
the question
very-
that I want to run across. You guys are married. You guys are in relationships. Question I want to run around is, what was your strongest? Do you know I legit have a friend? He's married now like 10 years. He went to his, when they were about to get married, to like his wife's pastor. And I've been in that moment. Guys, let me help you guys. When you get to that, your wife's pastor, usually your wife's parents' church pastor, you get. When you get to that man, it's usually, some man. You get the drift. And he's going to ask you, what are your convictions? I made the mistake. I said, I feel. You are feeling. And you are here. You think marriage is a joke? And then he just went, I should have known better, right? But you know what is my friend answer to that question? My friend said, sir, that me and her have agreed to marry. The man said, what are your convictions? He said, sir, we don't need conviction. We have agreed. That what my Bible says is that can two walk together unless they agree? Shebi, you have agreed. We have agreed. They are 10 years in marriage now, right? Okay, so what I want to ask you guys, what was your biggest, deciding, what was like that, this made it, this crossed me over that line, this was it for me. Okay, let's run it across.
Is that, I want to clarify the question, is that in terms of, what did I see in her? Kind of.
Whether it was something you saw, something you felt, something you perceived, I don't know. But what just made you there are so many girls around, but I'm going here?
Okay, for me in very popular opinion or, I don't know, way, but really it was actually first a leading. That's the
Why do you
honest
say it's
truth.
not popular?
No, the truth
You
is...
felt led. Okay, good. Yeah, that's what I need. Okay, Titi, thank you.
I think we started as friends, then we talked a lot. There was that. Then I felt very comfortable with him, and I really liked him. So yeah.
Nice. Then you now ask God, is it okay? Yeah. Nice. So God told somebody that you must go and marry her, but no, I'm joking. It was a lead-in. What does leading mean for somebody that just gave their life to Christ? What does leading mean?
Okay, what was that? No, it was not a dream, no.
How you explain a lead-in to somebody that is like, I'm new to the whole Christian thing, I don't get.
Okay, so you know how God speaks to you? Okay, so if you're new, there's a way when you're studying your Bible, there's a way God speaks with us, right? As his children, interacting in church with believers and all of that. There's a way God speaks to us. When I say leading, it's in that same way. It's just God speaking, having a conversation with you. It's not some deep thing like that. It's just in the same way we hear God, we converse with him in our hearts. It's that same way.
Okay, thanks. So yours was a lead-in, yours was like we were friends. When did you meet him? Friends, I like to hear this part. When did you guys first meet?
SS1.
SS1. Look at somebody next to you and say, what are you doing now? What level are you? What do you do? SS1. For people who are ready, SS1. SS1. Wow.
That's a big wow.
SS1, that's something. Okay. What crossed the line for you?
It was, what am I looking for, and does he have it? So that was it for me.
I am sincerely of the opinion that for any list of what I'm looking for, I'm sincerely of the opinion that more than one person can have it.
Well, I did not have options. No, honestly, if I had two people that tick the boxes, maybe there will not be another deciding factor after that. But he was the one person, and he ticked my major boxes. So.
All right, nice. Okay, Jide, what crossed the line for you?
Friendship. I just enjoyed the company.
I'm also of the opinion that we may perhaps enjoy company with more than a friend.
Yes, I agree. So for me, what I mean is, I'm quite a social person, so I speak to quite a number of people. But there are very few people that can keep my interest for a long period of time. So no matter how many they are not that many.
And then out of the many, it was now this one. That's nice. How long have you dated?
Okay, it's going to be 1 year in October.
It's going to be a year in October. Oh, nice. Okay, good stuff. So this is leading, friendship, tick the boxes, work, add like, what they call this? Friendship. Okay, that's good. One more thing I want to ask. This clock is scary. One more thing I want to ask. What in a relationship space, people dating and all of that, what are like your 2 top dating ideas for people dating? 2 top, hey, you guys should try this out, you should think about doing that. Because personally, I feel like in Christian settings, we talk a lot about what people should not do in relationships. You know, when you tell that your auntie, when you're introducing your babe to that your auntie, like, how long have you dated? Say, fornicate. You know, things like that. Like, don't, and I'm like, don't for me, you know. But like, what should we do? 2 top ideas, Christian, good stuff that you tried out, that you find helpful, that you'd advise somebody else.
Okay, in dating, I think...
Oh, sorry, do you guys think it's a useful question? Because I'm asking deep questions, people are doing it. Okay.
So, in dating, I'm assuming that means it's heading towards marriage, right? So I think one first thing is have really important questions that you're asking yourself, or that you're at least conversing about, right? That's one major thing. I think constantly be asking yourself certain questions so that you can get to know yourselves better. Then...
my issue with that is sometimes, I don't know, I've been around a few relationships, like conversations with people in relationships and all, and sometimes that in itself seems to create a tension. It's this thing of our relationship is becoming an interview. Like, I want to have fun, and it's like, what's your 7-year goal? You know, I don't know. So I'm just asking, like, how did you navigate that?
So interestingly, I was not more of even the questions guy. It was my wife that was more of the questions person, right? That's the truth. I'm the more spontaneous, you know, kind of, let's see how it goes. My wife was asking me some 5-year goal thing at a point. I'm like, I don't know, honestly, I don't know. But I think really why I said it's important to have some of those questions is, and I said on the assumption that it's leading towards marriage, is that of course, it's not a thing where you then start to ask, like every conversation is, we're asking ourselves questions around this. But I think there should be some key moments where you're asking questions because they are going to be the backbone of what you're going to be building your life, your marriage on. So it's very important to be asking and of course, it should have crossed a threshold of we are just dating. It should have crossed into that point of, okay, we are in this for marriage, like we have marriage in view. So I think that's...
So you seem to be of the persuasion that there's like dating, like just dating. Then there's like, let's kind of get serious.
Well, in the world right now, I think, yes, there is. There's just dating.
Okay.
You know, I see that a lot, like they're just dating.
And what's your take on it as a Christian?
They're not serious.
That's kind of sharp, but I don't know.
That's my personal opinion.
So you feel that, I don't want to go off this question, but you kind of feel that if I'm coming around somebody, we should already be fixing a wedding date?
No, not exactly. But you should have a goal. You should know what you are going for, especially if, okay, as the guy is leading a conversation or, you know, trying to maybe break into the lady's space and get to know her more. The guy should have a goal in mind. It should not just be, I saw this girl, she's fine, I want to date her. There should be a point of, okay, I saw her, yes, she's fine, but I'm approaching because I have enough, I've thought about it enough, and I think this is who I want to maybe spend the rest of my life with. So I want to approach on the basis of that, not just, and of course, it's not going to come that whole conversation is not going to come at the beginning, but it should be on the, beneath your breath, like, okay, this is what we are going for. We're not just dating.
I'll probably come to that. Let's just go on with this. Thank you.
Okay, I would say be friends. That's laugh at yourself, have conversations. I mean, it's from laughing at yourself, talking, that you get to know, okay, this is his favorite color, or this is what he likes, or that's when you know this is what I like. And it's when you are hanging out together, going to maybe see a movie. You can do that. I mean, have fun, see movie, play games.
What if he doesn't like movies?
So that's when you know, okay, if he doesn't like movie, what does he like? Oh, he might suggest.
So, for
why don't
example,
we
I know a guy that doesn't like movies, and then he now told the girl he was dating that time, they're married now though, but he told the girl that he was dating that time that let's go and watch a stage drama. She almost slapped him. I'm like, babe, why will you slap me? Like, it's just an idea. Like,
But at least they got to know what each other likes. So that will help them. So
Fair
it's in
point.
talking, you will know, okay, this person doesn't like this. Maybe this is what they like. Like, I got to know, oh, he likes Nigerian movies. Me, I don't like Nigerian movies. So there's always that also. So
how do you
that's
resolve
when
that
know-
tension?
So I get to watch the Nigerian movie.
Wow,
Then
you
once
watch
in a
that.
while, he gets to watch the...
Oh, okay. Friendship, you're saying a lot of friendship. Okay, great.
Yeah, I think the same thing. Do things you enjoy. Like, have unplanned time together, and let things just flow. Like, not everything should be scripted. With your siblings, with your family, you don't say that today we're doing this, tomorrow we're doing that, and we're doing that. There are some things that just happen organically. So I guess schedule time to be together and let
Let the rivers flow. Okay.
Okay, for me, I think I go with Titi with the friendship thing of. Okay, me and my girlfriend watch anime together, but we're not necessarily in the same place. So I was not in the country for majority of last year, so she could be watching something and it brings up something we can talk about. We could read similar books, so we can talk about the books. So typically, we do a lot of similar things that facilitate conversation.
Do you read the book so that you can talk about it?
No, we read the book, but talking about it ensures it stays. Is why you kind of pass exams, you know that, right?
Okay, so one thing that I think kind of rings from a lot of what you guys are saying, and is just helpful relationship advice for some people. I do think people want to feel safe in their relationships. You know, people want to feel safe, challenged, yes, but maybe not pressured. You know, you want to be, for example, some of the things I'm hearing here, feel like grow comfortable in somebody's presence. You know, a safety of conversations and all. Because on the flip side, I know I've spoken with a few people, and the biggest issue that seems to be happening in the relationship is that one party just feels overly pressured. Pressured in terms of, like, I'm seeing my boyfriend, fiancé, whatever word you use, I'm seeing this person, and I feel like I'm going for an interview. Like, there was a guy that would literally ask his babe to read this book by this person, and then when next we see, you must provide a summary. You know, it was very, and I'm serious. What?
I said that's coursework.
Coursework, and it really felt like, you know, and to be honest, every time I tried speaking with this guy about it, he was just a lot of where I see us being. You know, there are certain things she needs to understand to catch up, you know, and all of that. Yeah. And I was trying to say, I think there's a difference between mentor and boyfriend. I'm not sure, but yeah, you know, just a few things. So anyway, I do think just it's safety that we create conversations and friendships and all of that. But in that space also, now I'm going to maybe ask again, how does that, you know, I know, you know, maybe like my parents' generation, a lot of their conversations seem to be, even when I was starting to date, if I ask my mother, or I remember, the examples they seem to give is always that, you know, during your time of courtship, you meet for Bible study, you know, or prayer. You know, they always seem to have this thing of, I'm seeing this person tomorrow, we'll both study Matthew 18. You know, it seemed to be a lot of that. And somehow, in their generation, a lot of their, if we use the word safety, just in terms of not being loose, happened in the fact that when we see, we know what we're here for. Have you read the Matthew 18? You haven't read it. What's the Spirit telling you? What's your lead in from Matthew 18? Things like that. But our generation, or your generation, seems to have a lot of, like, let's say a movie together, and sometimes like seeing a movie together can be like maybe a little more like, you get what I'm trying to say, like maybe a little more personal, intimate, and then I do know that sometimes some people have even had struggles out of that space. So again, maybe in saying all of this, what then are like how do you achieve like safety in a relationship? What are you thinking of when you think safety in a relationship?
Apart from the one you defined for us, like the safety of conversations.
Oh, no, I mean safety in terms of guarding against immorality, safety in terms of, I want to just be with my babe and not be under the pressure of this is why we are here. Like, let's just be here, I remember somebody telling me who was a guy that was in a relationship at the time, and he was telling me that, when he started dating and just this thing of being in a space with my babe, I remember him telling me that I just feel like my hands have a mind of their own. That like I'm just here and I see my hands just going somewhere doing something, that kind of thing. You get what I mean, right? Like, so how do we but your hands don't have a mind of your own if you are Matthew 18. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. I don't know why I'm saying this is Matthew 18 because it's not even exactly Matthew 18. Maybe like Ephesians 5. Okay, but your hands don't have a mind of their own in that. But maybe seeing a movie, or maybe just chilling. I dozed off. Then I woke up. You are still there. I like the way you snore. Wow. So how do we guard against immorality in these, so to say, casual relationship spaces?
Okay, I'll go first. I think something myself and my wife did, which was, she was actually the one that initiated that conversation, was at the beginning of the relationship when we actually started dating and all of that. We had this conversation. I think I remember it was somewhere. It was actually very close to church office inside GUI back then. I think I was probably even coming from church office that evening. So we had this conversation where, we defined what were the points we were not going to cross. And at the point, really, I felt like, we know these things now. We both know. But down the line, I realized that it was helpful to have actually defined those lines. And we had, a conversation of, are we kissing in this relationship? No, we are not. Not until marriage. Are we doing this in this relationship? No, we are not. Not until marriage, right? So those, I remember that
is there like a Christian thing, like, because you even say your name is Kiso Daniel. Like, what is is it like sorry to pause you, but is it like a Christian standard? Like, if a Christian, should I ask this? Is a Christian allowed to kiss in a relationship?
Somebody said yes. I think I heard a yes or something.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm sure a lot of people think yes. So I'm asking for you. So, is there a biblical basis of that?
So I'm not going to say there's a biblical basis, right? But I think the thing is this. Okay, the way I heard somebody say this at some point, I'm just going to try and rephrase, is really, right, it's safer if you kind of carve some boundaries for yourself so that you don't overstep. Now, usually, right, if you are kissing is too it's too much on the borderline, right, of crossing over into sex. It's just maybe one more thing that you need to do before you cross that boundary.
What's that one more thing? Don't worry. Don't worry.
So it just makes like it's just like, to me, right, like a common sense thing of, I would rather not put myself in that space so that I don't build up, because of course when you're in kissing, you build up more, what's the word now? More emotions, or, all of that. It keeps building up, and you don't know where and when then to stop anymore. So why put yourself in that space where you are pressured or you are then trying to not cross over. I mean, it's just easier to stay on the safe side rather than be on the borderline of it.
Okay, can I share a thought on that? A thought on that would be that I like what you said, and I think it's very helpful. You said something that I think is very helpful. He was saying that himself and his babe kind of, define to themselves the standard. Verbalize it. Don't think it. Because something that you write down. The day you want to argue with it, it's there. And it's different from you thought it in your mind. Let me give you an example. If we say we're fasting tomorrow, and you have written down that you break at 6, when hunger comes at 2, because you've written it down, but the day you didn't, you are like, I'll break at 6. But when hunger comes, 2 o'clock, you're not like,
I fasted.
You get, right? You get the drift. So something that is concretized definitely holds you. And it's like and like he said something that is very profound. That when you are saying it, you feel like, sister, why are we even discussing this kind of things? Sister, let's discuss our vision to change the world. But just state it to yourselves. Down the line, you now say, it's good that it was said. Yeah. Down the line, you will appreciate the fact that, it was. So I think that's really helpful. But about kissing in a relationship, to be honest, from one cover of my Bible to the other, I cannot. There are some things you try and I can't outrightly. If you have a revelation, I'll be happy to hear. But as I sit here today now, maybe tonight God will now say, Tolu, what was that you said? Don't you see this? Maybe, and I'll come tomorrow and I'm preaching on something else tomorrow. But later, I will, come back and say that. But as I now, I can't outrightly see anything in the Bible that will make me tell, like outrightly stated, that would make me tell a Christian that is dating not to kiss, right? So of course, Paul would tell Timothy, flee morality. What is immorality? There's a lot definitely against fornication. But here is what I think everybody should know. And again, I know I was saying this somewhere. Again, there's a lot of cultural biases to these things. So cultural biases in terms of sometimes you are here in Nigeria. The world has become a very global place. You are here in Nigeria and, the way they even greet you growing up, you hear of you read books and you hear of somebody giving their child a good night kiss. You don't know that. It doesn't happen where you are from, Where you are going, you say, Daddy, Odaro, you say, Odaro, That's how you grew up, right? So that American person that you are seeing, child of God, that you saw kissing his babe and all of that, sometimes, let's first of all be honest with ourselves, that context is different. Let's start that. But here is what I definitely think is like one of the biggest wisdom tips that I heard many years ago. I heard it like 5 years before I got married, and it helped me a lot. Somebody just said to me that day, he said that sex is a process, not an event. And sex is a process, not an event. So that means that there is a culmination and all of that, but there's a build-up. And so we all honestly have to be, one of my mentors would say, one thing I would just never do to myself is to now be deceiving myself. Like let others be trying to swerve you, but you now be telling lies to yourself. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? We all kind of have to be honest in this conversation. So in as much as there are things that you might say, show me in the Bible and all of that, there's also a lot in the Bible that inclines us as Christians to say, live your lives with wisdom. Like God gives you wisdom, right? So Christ is made to us wisdom and power from God. And so I'm saying all of that and to pull it together to say that in a wisdom conversation, I can outrightly tell a Christian couple, say, why would you even kiss? Like, why would that even, like he said, my wife used to say that I've never seen two people kissing, right? Two people kissing and their hands are, When kiss is like that, you know, every kiss is inviting a little more. It's inviting a little more. And the way we are wired, of course, like he said, intimacy is burning. So sex being a process, that means that all I'm doing is that I'm definitely gliding further and further down that process. The closer I'm getting towards, quote unquote, what you call an event, here's what I promise you, the harder it is to stop. The closer I'm getting towards that, the harder it is to stop outrightly. So I do think one more thing that I thought of personally years ago is that I'm not going to, I remember I was dating my wife and all, I'm not going to kiss my wife like when we're dating, right? Now, anyway. When we're dating, you won't, like, I've not seen, if I even ask any Christian couple here that do you kiss and they say yes, we kiss, I've not seen any of them kissing in front of church. I've never seen that outside church, two people dating just come, maybe you and your babe, you just stand there, you know, and just kiss, bye-bye, you know. The truth is, you kiss in a place where there is some level of privacy. This is the big tension. The privacy that affords me the ability to kiss affords me the ability to do more. Right? That's the tension. That the place where I can kiss, I can do more than kissing. That's the tension. If I can kiss here, maybe it will be a different conversation. But because to kiss, like, is anybody here? You know, okay. So maybe you can do a little more. How do you know you will not do that little more? Maybe not today. But you know when you go home burning, when we see tomorrow, perhaps we might go a step further. How do we know we won't? So I think there's a big wisdom question. And just the last thing I'll say on this, I remember eventually getting married and just feeling, you know that thing of sit down here and I'm saying the chair is not comfortable and I say just sit down. Should be 15 minutes time, they are bringing 10 million naira for you if you can sit down there. I know it's not too comfortable, but put it in perspective. It's not like don't do this, don't do this. It's like wait. Wait now, calm down. It's your own. Don't become a thief over what God has given you as an owner. So don't be sneaking out in the night to steal what they say is your own. Your name is on it. Just give it the right time and the right patience. And I think it does add a lot of value. So finally on this, I realized that in marriage, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but in marriage, I realized that my wife can trust me more because she saw the discipline I fought not to do what was wrong out before marriage. So she's seen a man and I'm seeing a woman that will hold ourselves to something and say we'll not do what's wrong. So when you're married, you can be trusted more, right? By the same person. There was a story of a guy and his babe that would just want to do a few things and all. So he would tell his babe to tell her father that she's going for night vigil. And then she'll come to his house and, you know, they'll pass the night and all of that, whatever they would do. And then when they now got married, one time she now told her husband she's going for night vigil. You cannot go. You cannot, any prayer you cannot pray here. Do you get my drift? If someone can sin with you, then the person can sin against you. All right, so you can't go for any night vigil. There's no trust because I know what we used to do. Why are you with that person? How did you say? Why are you alone? No, because, you know, it's some of those things. It's because of what you did together before you got married. Okay? All right.
This is a lot of rewind. But at the beginning, the question was, is it compulsory to get married? I think we just delved into a different topic from a complete conversation from that question. I think looking at the Bible, not every character in the Bible, or not every person, they're not just characters, not every person in the Bible got married. So I don't think it is a thing of when you get to heaven, they would tick the box, oh, this person not married, no heaven for you. It's not a compulsory thing. And if you have reservations towards marriage, I guess it's something that you need to work out. So if you think it's a desire that God has placed in your heart, then, well, work it out too. But I don't think it's compulsory. I think it's just for an individual to work it out with God where that is coming from. If it's something that needs to be changed, a reservation towards marriage, then change it. Or if it's something that is from God, then receive it, whatever it is.
I think that's wise. Working that journey. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think that's well said. I think that marriage is I preach this. There's a message. Marriage is a crazy thing. We did in February. Marriage is a great example of a point God is making. But I would be lying if I say it's the only example that can make the point. So God is making a great point about Christ and the church, and He puts marriage as a picture of that. So it's a beautiful thing. But it doesn't mean that God's hands are tied outside of a marriage space. So, but sometimes maybe the bigger issue, and that's what Dr. is saying that I think is so helpful. The bigger issue sometimes is, where is that actually coming from? So sometimes somebody's just, I'm not going to get married, really because of brokenness that you've seen, you know, and all of that. And, you know, don't institutionalize brokenness. God needs your heart to be open to Him in the story He's telling in your life. Don't let another generation's brokenness now rub off on you to the point. I still believe that God is a healer. I still believe that God is able to take what the enemy meant for evil and work for good, all right? We need to land this conversation. They have been on our neck for a bit. Let's do last words. Then we would round off. Last words, and then we'll be closing out. Let's start from Jide this time. Last words.
There's such a thing as over curiosity.
Over
Curiosity. Stay within the lanes and stay in the box.
There is such a thing as over curiosity. Stay within the lanes and stay in the boat. If in the box. Okay. If they want to tweet it, how should they quote your name? Okay. Because you know what people do. You see people. You say something here, and everybody. You now see them quoting it as if it's their own statement. What's your Twitter handle? His name is Jide. So if you want to quote it, say somebody said. Don't go and claim it as your. All right. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, so allow God to work on your heart. I think that's what I would say. Wherever you are at, either in a relationship, single, whatever it is, just give God your heart. Allow Him to work on it. Allow Him to walk with you, whatever process He wants to walk with you.
All right. Tete.
I would say what my father told me when I first told him I have a boyfriend. So I think he told me.
So just curious, did you use the word boyfriend?
Yes. When I had.
You used the word boyfriend. No, I'm just curious, honestly. Boyfriend.
Yes,
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yes, when
Nice.
I had a boyfriend. And then he said the example is Jesus Christ. So I think if it's love you're coming into, if it's anything around that, the example should be from Jesus Christ. I mean, you should look at it from the Bible. You should define it with Jesus in it.
Thank you, Daniel.
Okay, I think for me that would be if you are okay. Let me start this way. It's not a long story. Just if I think really the summary of it is really try to work towards something, right? And that's not in the sense of making, like we've said, making it a coursework or something like that. But I think even when you get into marriage, right? Try to make sure that it's working towards something. It's not just a relationship, right? It's not just that we like ourselves a lot and we are just in this relationship and all of this, just us. Bring in beyond, we are both Christians, bring in the side of, okay, God is in this.
I'm going to release you in a bit. Sandra is going to come and make the announcements and tell us where we're going to get Suya, and if we're going to get Suya and where we're going to get Suya. No, she's going to come and tell us we are going to get Suya and where we're going to get Suya. And that makes all of you guys lawyers, right? Because you will sue, yeah? So, all right, anyway, whatever. But just before Sandra comes, right, guys, I want to ask finally as we close out, because the singleness space and what this is all about, I feel like there's a lot we can advise people. There's a lot of opinions. And as I look across the chairs, there's a lot of different experiences. Struggles in some way, experiences, decisions made. Evidently, everybody is walking a different journey, right? Just even asking you guys about how you even made your decisions. Evidently, everybody is walking a different journey. But maybe one thing that seems to be a common factor here as we sit is that in some way or the other, all of you guys have navigated or are navigating a singleness journey with who Jesus is to you, right? Something coming out of a space of, yeah, it's not just 10 great pieces of advice that I heard at some point in my life, but whether it's, I call it a lead-in or I sense him in some way or the other and all. So I want to finally in 1 minute have you guys, I'm sorry I'm overshooting, but just 1 minute, I want to have you guys just talk about how important your journey with Jesus is in helping you navigate, or how you navigated through your singleness? How important was it? How important is it? Who Jesus is to you? How you've held on to that, through the tensions and all of that. But just that thing of who Jesus is walking through as a single, how important you found that to be. Can I start from you, Daniel?
I think it's really very important. And the reason I say that is because, as a single person, if you've probably heard before, one of the things you would probably hear is focus on yourself, right? Focus on your own journey and all of that. And in all honesty, it's true, because there's a point where you probably don't want the main thing you are thinking about to be a relationship. And of course, it can be quite a tension, right? It can be quite a tension, but I think just enjoying that space of the singleness, just enjoying that space of you, enjoying a relationship with God, understanding more about Him, learning more about how to hear God and all of these things, it can really help you a whole lot, even in the phase that you are trying to get to, which is the whole relationship and marriage thing. So I think really do invest in that time, invest a whole lot into your relationship with God at that point of being single.
I also agree with you. I think that's the best time to actually even stay very close to God. And what that helps you to do is, because there's so much noise around, there's so much emotions going on, and then you will always need to manage these emotions. So what the Spirit helps you to do, it helps you to quiet the flesh, and then makes the voice of the Spirit stronger. So it helps you in making your decisions, what to do, what not to do, what to say, how to speak to people, how to manage any terrain they're in. So when we make that voice stronger in us, it helps us make better decisions.
Okay, so who Jesus is to me and how that has helped me. I'll say three things. Jesus is the person that knows me, Jesus is the person that loves me, and Jesus is the person that I love. So I'll just touch briefly on all of them. So on Jesus being the person that knows me, for a while I was really averse to being in a relationship. It was not on my list of to do things at all. It was like not even at the bottom. It wasn't there. But Jesus helped me walk through all of that, all that reservation, all the healing that I needed, that I did not know that I needed. Like very patiently, step by step, layer by layer. Because sometimes I think, okay, I've made progress, but I'm like, okay, we are here again. Just having Jesus walk that journey with me and finally get to the place where I'm saying, okay, let me step into this. Let me embrace this journey. So Jesus is the person that knows me, and he helped me walk through that journey. Just the person that loves me, and if Jesus loves me, I know that I can trust whatever he sends my way. So if he sends a man my way and he says, okay, I think this person is good for you, I know that Jesus wouldn't give me something that is bad. Jesus wouldn't give me somebody that is bad for me. So because Jesus loves me, I can trust whoever he sends to me. And Jesus is the person that I love. Like, I know in the depth of my soul that I love Jesus. And a major question I had to answer when stepping into a relationship was, do I have the capacity to love another person? Can I be a good girlfriend? Can I love somebody? And I had to, maybe God helped me realize that, well, you love me very much. You have given your life for me, and if you have done that with me, then you can do that with another person too. So that's...
For me, I was exposed to immorality quite early in my life. And I think my journey has been a journey from Emmanuel to Adonai. And what I mean by that is, I moved from a portion of understanding that Jesus was always with me to discovering Jesus as my Lord. And the first thing I think Jesus did for me was to save me. And what I mean by that was, I grew up in church. I was a church boy. I knew scriptures quite more than my contemporaries to some degree. But the point is, when immorality took over, I tried to run away from Christ because I felt like Jesus would not want anything to do with someone like me. And the scriptures just kept on bringing me back. And that's why I'll tell anyone, read your Bible. It does a lot for you. It kept bringing me back. Like I said, little course corrections. It didn't happen all in one night. There was no divine angel standing in my room saying, it ends today. Just little course corrections. And by the time I discovered that Jesus would never leave me, it emboldened me to submit to his leadership, to his lordship. And at that point, my relationship with Jesus was not only about how I feel, it's about understanding that since he's always with me, I can always submit to his leadership. He's always for me. And anytime I bow my knees, I know he's like 1 John 2 verse 1 says, we always have an advocate to the Father. That scripture took me over a lot of tough times. Like, no matter how many times, I always have an advocate to the Father. And the testimony now is, I still have an advocate to the Father, and he's my Lord.
So good. So good. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, I haven't released you. Thank you so much, guys. This is the one question I think I would also answer. And thanks for all that you said. Really, really profound. You know, we started out just saying, let's have a conversation and all of that. But I like that we're bringing it here. And just about, when I think about my single space, right? Especially from that time when I started to become conscious of myself, my feelings, you know, I look back now and there was a lot to navigate. There was a lot. There were mistakes, there were failures, there were strong times and all of that. But I feel like many times in singleness, we think a lot about relationship as like the destination of singleness. So it's like, I'm single till I just get to this. Like relationship just being the destination. And of course, like a marriage. And so as a young girl, you even grew up just hearing things like when you get to your husband's house, is this what you do? As a man, it's like when you have a family, it's almost like your whole life is for that. But really, is it? I like that, you know, some of what they've said just seems to emphasize for me about how at the end of the day, there is a relationship that I found. Monday is going to make it 20 years. Of course, before then, in and out, you know, all those games and all of that. But 20 years of finding a relationship with Jesus. I can take you to the place. I can take you to the moment. I can take you to that place that I knew, you know what, I've tried what I can. I've played all these God games. But I need something more. And finding that and starting to build that journey and just follow through. Maybe when we say things like build, maybe we're putting too much credit on ourselves. Maybe following through what God was building with us. Maybe just giving ourselves, surrendering, you know, learning, growing, and all of that. And then the singleness then becoming, oh yeah, you got into a relationship at this time. Oh, then you got married at this time. But when I look back over my shoulder, I feel like I could only get it right because I got it right with Jesus. And I can say that 100 times. I could only make the right decisions because I got it right with Jesus. I could only walk the right decisions in the right way. Because it's one thing to even say, I'm so sure this is what I should do. This is who I should be with. But it's another thing to even say, can I even do that in the right way? Let's be honest. None of us can love. Let's be honest. You know, I don't like you can give lines, you can do all of that. You know, I was at the wedding this morning and I was listening to their vows. Beautiful lines. Somebody said something to me recently. Do you know the truth about relationship and marriage? Do you know the truth about marriage? It is a reflection of selfishness. You pick somebody you like, it's still you. And then you then get in and start to realize love starts by being selfless. Like what brought me here is my selfishness. I didn't pick somebody I hate. I picked somebody that I am attracted to, I like, I have a leading, I have feelings that my friend, my companion. So we now get there and it's like, forget about self. It's self that brought me here. So I needed something more. And that's what I found out through this journey. Friends, honestly, our journeys might be very different from person to person. Our decisions might be very different. Our places of conviction might look different. But one thing that I know has to be the same, like there's no compromise on this, is that if we get it right with Jesus, then we can get it right with our relationships and with life and with our singleness. But maybe you're saying, oh yeah, I have it right with Jesus. I'm following that pathway. Then all I would say with all my heart is go on. Go on. Nobody is traveling a Jesus journey and is getting it wrong. Go on. But I don't yet see, but go on. But what will happen? Go on. Go on. Just keep going. This story will make more sense progressively. So go on. If you are in a Jesus journey, you are getting it right. Okay? Maybe I don't yet have the person. I don't yet know what. I'm still struck. Just go on. Nobody's in a Jesus journey and is getting it wrong. But today, maybe we can, before we pray, make an opportunity for someone who says, oh, but then I am not on that journey. Whatever space, whether I'm single, whether I'm in a relationship, whether I'm about to, whether I am formally in a relationship, broken, this, that, really doesn't matter. But I always want to create a moment for somebody that says, no, I can't boldly say that I'm right. There are many things we can deceive ourselves about, right? You can do fake stuff, wear fake clothes. You can do many fake things, but this, when it gets to this point, there's really no fakes about it. It's either we are or we're not. And I feel God has put it within us. There's no second guessing this. The day you got saved, you knew you got saved. You knew something was different. You might not be able to explain it. The day I gave my life to Jesus, I didn't know a lot. I couldn't quote the verse. I couldn't tell you where it was in the Bible. But I knew I had made a decision that changed my life forever. And today, if we can, everybody across this room and everybody online, if we can just take a reflective moment, I would like to please request, let's just bow our heads where we are. Let's close our eyes. And let's have a reflective moment. Everybody. More than who I know, who I'm trying to know, where I am, more than every question that is on your heart right now. Man, we've had a conversation, but I can't even start to pretend that we've answered all the questions we might have. We all have questions, but I want everybody to just in this moment be thinking about where they are with Jesus. And if you say, yeah, we are going good. I'm not perfect, but I'm walking that journey. Man, that's great. I want you to pray today. I want to give you a moment to pray today and say, Jesus, help me to walk with you stronger. Help me to know you closer in this space and season of my life. Help me to figure all of this out of a space of who you are to me, Jesus. I mean, not figure all of this out of just a space of my feelings and what's happening, but Jesus, I'm in the right direction. Maybe that's all you even just need to go home telling yourself today. And if I am right with Jesus, then I'm in the right direction. There might be things I need to learn better, things I need to get better, but I am in the right direction. Nobody is walking a journey with Jesus and is in the wrong direction. And so just pray today for yourself, for stronger steps, for grace upon that journey, to stay through, not to compromise, not to back out. The things you need to know, ask the Lord to teach you. The things you need to do better, ask the Lord to help you do better. But just stay resolute on that. And while our heads are still bowed and our eyes closed, I want to ask for somebody who says, okay, now here's the deal with me. I am not in the right place. I can't boldly say that I've consciously made that decision to surrender my life, to just put my faith in Jesus. What does that mean? That basically I'm depending on Jesus to be with God. And I'm depending on what Jesus did on the cross, that he died. I'm depending on that to be in the right standing with God. And you can't boldly say that. You are basically living in sin, just living life as it is, just going through all of that. Maybe at some point you had made that decision, but as we speak right now in this moment, you know you're not right with God. Right? I want this to be your moment. You know what I'm going to ask you to do? With every head bowed, every eye closed, I just want you to raise your hand and put it right back down. I just want to know that there's somebody there. Just raise it up, slip it up, and put it right back down. Let's know that we're saying a prayer together. God bless you. Raise it up and just put it right back down. God bless you. God bless you. And everybody online, just as a mark of indicating where you are in that room, raise it up and put it right back down. Thank you so much. Anybody else want to do that before we pray? Just raise it up and put it right back down where you are. God bless you. Now we're going to say a prayer together. God bless you. I see you also. God bless you. Anybody else? Raise it up and just put it right back down. God bless you. God bless you. It's a decision. It's a decision. It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your sincerity. That's beautiful. Now we're going to say a prayer. I'm going to ask everybody to say it together, right? We believe this is real powerful because it's something you have decided in your heart. You're believing something in your heart, and then you're speaking it with your mouth unto God, and that's how we get saved, all right? So can I just ask everybody, can I humbly ask everybody, let's join in together. If you raised up your hand and you put it down, I want you to say these words boldly. We're joining with you. This is a family, not the crowd. God sees you. If you're online also, join in this moment. Can we all say, Heavenly Father, I come to you today because you've made a way for me to come through the death, the burial, and the resurrection of your Son Jesus. Say, I believe with all my heart that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and is the Savior of the world. Say, today I boldly declare Jesus Christ to be my Savior and my Lord. Say, I give everything to follow you. Please forgive me of the past. Please forgive me of my past ways. Please take away the guilt and the shame and give me a whole new start. Say, today I boldly declare that I am a child of God. I am forgiven, I am loved, and I'm doing a journey with Jesus. Now say, one day I'll be with you in heaven. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Congratulations. Congratulations. That was awesome. Congratulations to everybody who prayed that prayer, who indicated to pray. A miracle happened in your life right now, and that is awesome. I can't congratulate you enough. That's the best decision you could make. And you know what? We are so proud of your decision. Maybe there are many things you're like, I will have to get right, like many things I'll have to figure out. Guess what? You've done the big one right. And when you get this right, you can get everything else right. Okay? So congratulations on the miracle that just happened in your life. Now, if you prayed that prayer, if you raised your hand, indicated to pray that prayer, maybe you didn't even raise it, but you know, I think I prayed that prayer and it meant something to me. We would love to support you. That's what we want to do. We'd love to support you and pray for you and encourage you in your journey of just doing a Jesus journey. We'd love to give you resources, see how we can help you, and intentionally know that we are praying for you to get it right and serve you in every way we can. Okay? So right at the back, on your way out, there's somebody standing there. You can see him in the shadows, all right? Can you just wave where you are, right? He's just going to be hanging out around there. So all you need to do, just walk that direction and just say, I prayed that prayer. We'd just love to record your decision, support you with resources, and encourage you in every way we can, okay? But God bless you. One more time, can we just say congratulations to everybody who prayed that prayer today? All right, that's good. So can we thank our panelists? Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I hope this was helpful. Where's Sandra? Sandra, you're supposed to be somewhere here. All right, Sandra, thank you. Sandra led the team that planned this event today. Can we say thank you to Sandra and to the team? All right, so she's going to close us out and tell us about the latter part, all that we're going to do.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. So I hope this has been helpful. Thank you very much, our panelists, and thank you everyone for coming out. We're really grateful. Thank you. So now to the Suya. Okay, so we're going to be forming groups very quickly so that we can get to know one another while the Suya is going round, you know, and all that. And then I think that will be us conversing, eating Suya, drinking drinks. And please, we'll just say once you're done, please help us dispose properly and help us stack the chairs. Thank you very much. All right. The chairs, the chair. Sorry, I didn't get that. Okay, just leave the chairs, don't stack. But please, we can just form groups now while they share the Suya. Thank you very much.